Citizens of the free world, I am Hoverman Cop, defender of justice, defender of the people, defender of the earth. Inside of me, my soul has ignited with fire. In Northwest Miamai Date police officers there were in a police chase. And in this police chase, you will see a live video of these officers in that police chase surrounded a suspect who drove to a dead-end area. And I'm surprised because it has been now 2 to 3 days now, and no outcry, neither no kind of punishment handed down from the very top brasses, from the director, the chief of police of that area, neither for the head man in charge, the mayor, you, mayor of Northwest Miami-Dade County, you, the director of that agency, have remained silent because you should know, citizens of the free world, their actions of those officers are putting the lives of all officers all over the country now more in danger for their ignorance and for their failure to willingly violate, commit injustice upon a criminal. And what they did was bold, because obviously it's the culture over there. I'm going to let you watch this video first, and after that video, I am going to break it down to the last bone, and you would know that these officers are what you see and consider to be vampire officers, hungry for blood, so thirsty for blood and to kill, that what they did, you would be amazed at their incompetence. Watch this video and I will return.
Now going into a parking lot, this seems to be a dead end, and the driver there just crashed there into a wall, it appears. Police officers now out with their guns surrounding this vehicle. The driver is coming out with his hands up. You can see his hands up there. Police have a dog hot there on his trail. They are ordering him to get out of the vehicle. He appears to have gotten back into the vehicle. Now an officer is there, looked to be trapped. Now he's gotten back into the vehicle. He has gotten back into the vehicle. The dogs are now in the vehicle trying to get this man to stop. An officer there was in, it appeared to be danger as this man backed out trying to get away. This is a very, very tense situation. Again, we remind all our viewers, this is live television at this hour. Anything can unfold. This is live pictures. Again, this man appeared to stop. Now he appears to be getting out of the vehicle. We do not know how he is now out of the vehicle. Police, as you can see, have surrounded him. They are attempting to put him into custody at this hour. Again, they had a dog there in the vehicle at one point, and that is when the driver appeared to get back in the vehicle and and reverse. We don't know if he was injured or shot in any of this, but this man is now in custody. It was definitely a tense situation there. This has ended in the area of Northwest Miami Dade. And the suspect, as you saw there in the live pictures, was backing up and appeared to put officers there in danger. As you can see, there appeared to be at least a dozen officers around this man as this chase comes to an end. Again, live pictures from Northwest Miami Dade. We still don't know why police were pursuing this man, but as you can see, they appear to be taking him off now. He's behind the tree there. Again, this started in the area of downtown Miami, has wound its way throughout the South Florida streets. It ended at 119th Street and 11th Avenue in North Miami. As you can see, this man now being put in a police car there.
Now that you've seen that video, the first thing that happened, the suspect vehicle was yet moving. The patrol vehicles was still moving. Then you had one police officer and the passenger of one patrol car opened the vehicle door while the patrol car was still moving. He was so thirsty to get out of that vehicle and to aim his gun and commit such hatred and violence to that suspect that he couldn't even wait till the patrol car to stop to get out of the vehicle. So he decided to finally come to his senses, closes the door. The suspect comes to a dead end at a wall. Then you had one police officer, the first vampire to be on foot. He was so bloodthirsty, he ran like Forrest Gump, ran around the other vehicle, pulled out his weapon without being in a safety mindset, disregarded all the other officers to be the first officer to draw his gun and to draw blood. That he disregarded all safety measures. Then you have another vampire officer, so thirsty for blood on the opposite side of that wall. He points his gun at that suspect's vehicle and puts himself in the line of fire. He could have been killed by that suspect who no one knew whether or not he had a weapon inside that vehicle. He could have killed the first Forrest Gump running police officer who put himself in wide view to be shot and killed by that suspect. And then you had the second officer on the other side of that wall that could have been killed by that suspect if he decided he could have shot that officer. Then you had a K9 officer. He decides to come in between the suspect's car and the parked car next to it. Then decides that that didn't work, so he goes around to the other side where the suspect was. In plain view, he could have been killed by that suspect. And now the suspect the whole time has his hands up. Now imagine what was going on. That suspect had his hands up. He was no threat to any of those officers. But all they saw and all they wanted was blood. So thirsty for it. They was hoping. They was agitating him. They were giving commands. So imagine 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 officers all telling him different things at one time. All of them wanted to be the number one man on the scene to pull the first gun trigger. So The suspect has his hands up. He don't know who to listen to because all of those officers was yelling and screaming, spitting and yelling at that suspect. No one had no sense to say, everyone calm down. The senior officer should have been speaking. So that didn't happen, and guess what? What you saw was that canine officer, for no reason, release the dog, the canine, on that suspect who was no threat. And the canine goes after the suspect. Now, what do you expect for that suspect to do? Allow a canine dog to just bite all on him and draw blood from him? The suspect, a natural reaction, I would say, he gets back into that vehicle and backs the car up. So now, not only you have a suspect driving a vehicle by backing up, he's backing up while that canine officer is in between that wall barrier and the car, and now you have another canine officer on the opposite side of that vehicle. He's in the line of fire. He is trying to figure out how to get in between the car and the suspect car and the parked car. Now, the canine dog that he had literally almost gets hit by the suspect car because the canine was confused. It didn't know what to do. It didn't have space to get in between the two cars. And so now the suspect backs up the car. Now that canine officer's in the line of fire and he's about to get struck by the suspect car, and the canines are about to get struck by the suspect's car. Okay, now after that, the door on the passenger side of that suspect's car, that door was almost ripped off from backing up. He couldn't go any further. He strikes another patrol car. The car stops again. So the canine from that other side of the vehicle goes into the vehicle and starts to attack the suspect. And now the other canine was so confused, and the other canine just as confused. The police officers are confused. The police officers are so bloodthirsty and so hungry for blood that the canine started attacking the other canine. And while that is happening, the two canine officers are trying to separate the two canines who are attacking each other. And the suspect could have killed the canine dogs and the two canine officers and every officer who was in front of that vehicle, on the side of that vehicle. And so after they finally figure that out, you got other guns still pointing at the suspect, and the two canine officers and the canine dogs are in between the crossfire. And so now then the suspect comes out of the vehicle. No threat, no weapons on him, nothing. And to add insult to injury, these incompetent, what you call citizen officers, supposed to protect and serve the citizens and do the right thing, right? They kicked, kneed, and punched upon that suspect who was no threat. That is not what you call justice. They violated the law. And they violated the oath to the citizens of that area. And they now has caused more officers to be seen as criminals because they're that what you saw was criminal behavior. And the director of that agency and the mayor there, do you call that justice? Do you call that representation of that department? I say to you, citizens of the free world, this is why I am present. We need to rid police agencies and police officers as those vampire officers as you've seen. Rid them, get them out of the police agencies, because what we're having now more than ever before in this country is vampire officers, criminals, abusing their authority, violating laws left and right. And the blood is on their hands and on the mayor and the director, the chief of that police agency. It's on your hands. Will you, citizens of this country, demand something to be done? Because now what they did and the obvious violations they committed on live television sets precedents to all agencies across this country for others who desire to do the same, to come up with similar ideas, to huddle around suspects and violently, but no justice, no justification, kick, knee, and beat upon a suspect only because he or she did not follow their commands and orders. Nothing else needs to be said but action by that mayor and the director to remove those officers from duty.